So what I did is I sent an email, and to the email address was councilmembers@poway.org, which is automatically redirected to our 4 city council members and our mayor, Steve Voss. And so I want to read you the letter that I sent to them. And then I want to read you some of the responses I got to give you sort of an insight to maybe what our local politicians are thinking. And then I'm going to tell you a crazy story about a meme. Okay, so uh, my letter went as follows, and it was a short letter. It says, "Dear Poway City Council, seems there is another movement of opposition to the Lifetime Fitness facility in the farm. Certain community organizers are encouraging Powegians to write to the city council expressing opposition. I would like to offer an alternative point of view. I support property rights. People across Poway shouldn't have the right to micromanage how a property owner chooses to manage his or her property. America's founding values are expressed in our inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Property rights are a natural extension of your right to your own life. If one cannot use their property resources for productive purposes, particularly if there are no damages created to others, then an interference in one's property is an interference in one's right to their own life." Then I said, "Legally speaking, I realize that Measure P situation likely means that it will need to go to a public vote, but from a moral point of view, I object. Also, the proposed plan by Lifetime actually looks pretty good to me and my family. In fact, we were just discussing this over the weekend. Both my wife and daughter are hopeful that the project is approved. They like all the proposed amenities." And then thank you, John Riley. I listed my phone number, Poway, California. Okay, so I sent this. I didn't know if I was going to get any response. I didn't know if this was going to be read at a city council meeting. I didn't know if they were just going to read it and take it under consideration. I wasn't sure, but I felt like I had to get it out. And if you've been watching my podcast or listening to my podcast, you know I talk about this all the time. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what this podcast is about. And a lot of people really have a problem with that, with these founding values of our country, because they don't want people to have the liberty to live their life as they wish. And that's why I think it needs to be expressed so strongly. But I did get responses. And these are in no particular order, but one of the responses was from City Council member Kaylin Frank. And she said, "Hi, John. Nice to hear from you. Thank you for your thoughts. My understanding is that the voter initiative requires major modifications to go back to the voters. So I feel that needs to be honored. But I understand your perspective on it. Hope you're doing well, Kaylin." Okay. So that's a nice response. She acknowledged my point of view. She responded, which I think is great. And she says it's likely going to have to go to a vote, which is kind of what I suspected anyways. Then I got a response from Brian Pepin, who's another city council member. And he said, "Hi, John. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for emailing. I always appreciate your perspective. I'll take it into consideration when Lifetime presents their proposal to the city council this summer. Thank you, Brian." Okay. And yeah, it's going to be July 16th when the city council is going to actually begin the process of reviewing the proposal. Then I heard from Anita Edmonston. And Anita is the one that was appointed to fill Barry Leonard's spot. And Anita said, "Hi, John. Good hearing from you. I hope you're doing well. And thanks for weighing in on the Lifetime Fitness proposal from your point of view. I appreciate your insights. As you are aware, the application is currently under review by the city staff and council and has not yet received a report or recommendation. I will be taking all input into consideration if or when the matter comes before council. In case you didn't already receive the attached information directly from the city, I am including it here. It provides additional background on the application, the process, and its relationship to the farm development. Best regards, Anita Edmondson." And that it was like a 2-page PDF, but essentially it said that this is probably going to have to go to a vote. And they talked about how Lifetime had revised their original plan and they submitted it in May, and it's probably going to be on July 16th when they rule on this, or they begin the process of reviewing it. I also got a response from Steve Voss, our mayor. It was a short one. It says, "Thanks, John. Good to hear from you. SV," for Steve Voss. Okay. So they all acknowledge. Now, the crazy thing is that Peter DeHoff, who's the other council member, didn't respond. Okay, that's fine. But it's funny that he's my representative. Peter DeHoff, District 3, that's where I live. I got responses from the mayor and all the other city council members except the one who is my representative. It's kind of funny. But at any rate, Peter DeHoff is a newbie, so he's probably still learning the ropes as he's going.